So not only did Marvel's Avengers have an update today, but we got a roadmap. Black Panther was revealed. There's just so much news for this game. Let's talk a little bit about its future and if I think it's going to move the needle at all in terms of players. Okay, so I've kind of written out all these notes in a little bit of a weird way, but basically, Hawkeye's available today. The next gen update is available today. Campaign replay was added. Harm Room was updated, and there's a lot of stuff to go over here. So let's start with Hawkeye. Hawkeye was the new character that was added. A lot of people are saying that he plays similar to his daughter, and a lot of people have finished that main campaign already. So that was like, I'll just call that a snack. That's a small piece of the pie about what you're getting for this Avengers update. Campaign replay is here. This is mostly noted as a fan request in the patch notes. I hope the rewards and XP and such are good for that particular thing, but I don't know if that's like something that me as a lapsed player is going to hop back and play. Harm Room was updated where you can make your own sort of Harm Room combat scenarios. That actually sounds pretty fun. I'm pretty into that. But the thing that really has me interested is the next gen upgrade. I played through Marvel's Avengers mostly on my PlayStation 4 Pro, and I got to endgame. I got the main characters where I wanted them, and then I just kind of stopped. The main reason I stopped is because of repetitiveness, and yeah, the game chugs. There's a lot of loading times, and this update does address a lot of that. It specifically calls out addressing loading times. It calls out that it has improved textures and effects, and it calls out cross-gen multiplayer, meaning PS4 fans can play with PS5 fans, or Xbox One fans can play with Xbox Series X fans. I mean, I would hope that you can play with those players, because otherwise your player base is going to be so small with the console shortages that they would have shot themselves in the foot. They say they are supporting it and they're going to continue supporting it. So it was really weird to see just how difficult it is just to simply transfer your saves from Marvel's Avengers on the PS4 to Marvel's Avengers on the PS5. I don't really understand why anybody would make saves that difficult to do. Xbox even had a pretty cheeky tweet about smart delivery and how, hey, it's just going to work on Xbox. And then for PlayStation, they had this elaborate thread about what you need to do just to move your saves to the next thing. It's just odd. That's definitely a criticism I have about the PlayStation infrastructure, but I played on PS5 because that's where the exclusive characters are going to be, so I'll probably end up continuing to play there. Hopefully they add cross saves so that I can just move my saves to PC or wherever I want someday, because I am not playing through that game again. So the question I'm going to ask, and I'm getting to it, is if this is going to make me play Avengers again. And the reason I bring that up is because there was also a huge roadmap update. There's Tachyon Anomaly during this event. Tachyon Rift missions will appear more often and will be scaled for power levels 1 to 100 so more players can experience them and have event-specific rewards. And the reason the roadmap is so important, let me just open it up over here, is because this is something that fans have been asking for. Greg Miller over at Kinda Funny put out a really good video just talking about what he would like to see as a player for Marvel's Avengers. And I just realized I forgot to turn on my lights. Oh well. So sorry if it's a little darker this time. Yeah, so he sort of talked about what he wanted, and this roadmap is basically one of the big asks from big fans like Greg. So in addition to the Tachyon Anomaly, there was also the Red Room Takeover, new Red Room content and outfits. Great, I guess. Cosmic Cube, Monica Villain Sector, which is one of the characters in the game, so you can actually experience that character's villain sector, which is a mode in the game. Specifically on the roadmap, it says, enter the Harm Room with new themed Harm Room content, and you can get new hero outfits, so great. Wasteland Patrol, basically, they described it as a large open area where you can do whatever without a mission goal, and on the roadmap it says, new Warzone mission type patrol mode, new war zones and assignments within the Wasteland region. So I assume you just go out into the Wasteland and kind of do whatever you want. The most significant update was definitely War for Wakanda. This is the Black Panther update. I'm going to read what it says on the roadmap and read my notes from their expansion. First of all, my notes, Black Panther. I did the opposite of what I was going to say. It introduces a new enemy. It introduces Wakandan jungle biome. It adds a new outpost, adds a power increase. They said this is going to be a significant update for them. In addition, on the roadmap, it says new hero outfits, power level cap increase, new villains, including Claw, new Claw faction enemies, new story, new Wakandan jungle biome, and new outpost. Now, the thing is, we've gotten Hawkeye, and I'm blanking on his daughter's name. I apologize. But anyway, those two have come out, and their campaign missions have been rather short. So I hope this is a longer campaign mission that players can enjoy playing through and not just tear through it in an hour or so, like they seem to have with Hawkeye. There is some Hawkeye post-game stuff, so I do realize that. Anyway, there's ongoing improvements also. Hey, we're still working on stuff is basically what this patch note says. There's gear matchmaking, there's combat, D-pad and menus, probably like a fan ask that hasn't been in the game so far. The most important thing is Avengers needs like a raid. It needs something for you to build towards that's challenging enough to push the most hardcore players. And it seems like Omega level threat missions have been what fans have been asking for. And here's what they say about it. Omega level threat missions have been the most significant development challenge since we launched the game. The feature works. We have our devs and QA teams playing every day, but we're still tracking down bugs that we need to resolve. We want to make sure we're confident that the quality is rock solid. And let me look at the roadmap here really quick. So Cosmic Cube, new scientist, Supreme Villain Sector, confront the unchecked power of the Cosmic Cube. There was Operation Hawkeye, Future Imperfect, that launched today, in addition to the next-gen updates, which is looking really good, by the way. The next-gen updates shouldn't be, blowing off. They actually seem pretty significant and worth your time. I'm going to get to me playing or not in a second. Additional content and features, mega-level threat missions, multiplayer mega hives, post-level 50 progression, outfits inspired by the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and ongoing stuff as balance tuning, gear progression, collectible, cosmic systems, matchmaking. And finally, this was what the team put on their blog post about continuing to support Avengers. Our team is committed to improving Marvel's Avengers, beginning with these upcoming additions to the game. That is only the start of our future plans, and as we stated previously, not everything we're working on. We'll be sharing more details over these coming months, so keep an eye on our official channels. We hope this roadmap offers you a bit more knowledge into what we're focusing on as we continue development day in and day out. Okay, that was written. As we continue development day in and day out in order to make Marvel's Avengers the game we know it can be. Thank you for your continued patience, your support, your feedback, and your unbridled passion. So that's the update in a nutshell. Most of this, I'm sure I missed some stuff. I'm not following this game actively, and that is sort of my problem. I think if you finish the campaign, maybe you're hopping on for these missions where you get to play as individual characters, but the player base seems low. Let me just bring up Steam charts. It's the only metric that's easily accessible, so let me just bring it up quick. So oh my goodness. Yeah, so this is an online game where you're playing online with people, right? And an hour ago, it had 1,000 people. They just had a major content drop. Their 24-hour peak was 2,000 players. So that's their entire PC, basically, ecosystem where Marvel's Avengers is available. And if we go out to 6 months, we can see, oh my goodness, there are some absolutely... These numbers should scare the developers. There were 510 players on March 4th. 510. I feel like more people will watch this video than played their game that day. And okay, maybe I'm being too negative. If you're an Avengers fan, I apologize. I'm just trying to bring up the fact that this is concerning to see a game that has the Marvel license, has the Marvel characters being played by some days less than 500 people a day. Should be really, really worrying to the devs. But I will say this. There has been an uptick in the last 30 days because they're doing that dumb XP throttling thing, probably. And I do think that this is a positive win for their brand. If this doesn't move the needle, I don't know what's really going to move the needle for them. Having a character like Black Panther, and then further down the line, we know Spider-Man is coming. If you have those hit the game, it's one of those scenarios where I'm like, the game it's just good enough. Like the photo mode is really cool. there's repeatable missions. It's fun to do. I had a good time with it when I did, but once I beat the campaign, I was done. And I don't know how you get back that magic and that spark once your player base has dwindled to this extent. I'm sure the PlayStation user base is going to be a lot higher than the other platforms. And I will say this, I want to check out Avengers. I'm going to hop on. I want to check out these next gen upgrades. I'm going to be doing it very soon just to play again and just be like, is it as grindy as I remember? Because that is the main loop that they have to deal with, right? Is the gameplay loop fun? And if it's not, I don't know how they get back this massive spike of players. It's potentially going to be quite low. Real quick, let's see how it compares to a game like Division 2 that's popular but potentially waning. And by Division 2, I mean Division 1. So check this out. I just hopped on to see, okay, Steam, how is Division 1 doing? 531 players were playing an hour ago. So Division 1 on Steam has the same amount of players playing an hour ago. Their 24-hour peak was 984, putting them above Marvel's Avengers for most of the launch window. Yeah, and if you look at their numbers side by side, I'll put it up in the video, but that gives me a picture of what the player base is like on PC. So all their players have to be on Sony then. Anyway, yes, I'm going to hop on and play it. I don't think this moves the needle and gets fans back. I would love to see this game fix every single little problem, but I don't know how you get people invested again when you've sort of faltered out of the gate. Maybe I'm wrong. Am I way off base on this? Please let me know in the comments below. Anyway, that was sort of my ranty video about Avengers. Thank you for joining me. Hey, if you like these videos, please consider subscribing. The channel has just been blowing up. It's been absolutely insane to see the growth. And I just want to say how much I appreciate it. I just started doing these vlog style things where I talk directly to the camera about big stories of the day and my impression of them. And it's been so cool to see your feedback. I'm trying out the membership thing. So if you want access to these when I record them it is midnight right now. The baby's asleep. I got 3 hours of sleep tonight. So if I seem a little sleepy, that's why. But yeah, I'm trying out memberships and I just post these when they're done for members. And then they go live at 7 a.m. every day. My goal is post something every day. And if you guys keep watching them, I'm going to keep doing that until nobody's watching me anymore, because I want to hit 100,000 subs this year. So if you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's so humbling to just see explosive growth, like 5,000 subs in the last few days. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't express that enough. For this video, I'm Destin. Let me know what you think about Avengers, and I'm signing off. Bye for now.